And welcome back, everybody, to All Hang Up and Listen. Brought to you, of course, by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you need to get a beer, please get over to Fatty Beer. Let them know we over here at Two Goalies, One Mike sent you. Great vibes, music, and entertainment at all locations. And, of course, shout out to our sponsors at Extreme Discount Mattress, Western New York's finest selection of mattresses and adjustable beds, featuring the cool gel memory foam, two-sided mattresses, Telele latex, organic mattresses, Chapman Wells, and Scott and Livin, all for a third to a half the supposed sale prices anywhere. So stop in any of their 7 locations across Western New York or check out their website, which is extrememattress.com. That's extreme in the next. And if you're looking for more savings, check out their new closeout center at 1625 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga. With up to 80% off their already low prices, you can save a fortune on one-of-a-kinds, closeouts, and floor samples. You get a quality mattress for literally pennies on the dollar. Extreme Discount Mattress. We sell mattresses for less, a lot less. And remember, if you mention that you are a fan of Two Goalies, One Mike, you get a free mattress protector with any purchase of a mattress. So, sorry for getting on here a little late. Traffic was hell to get out of the Sabres game tonight. I got offered tickets last second for free from my good buddy Mike Flatley, and you can't turn down a free ticket to a game for a Sabres game, especially right now. Hurls, I'm assuming you watched the game from start to finish. Your thoughts? And TNT, BIZ between the benches, the theatrics between him and Ray. Overall, was a great night if you discount the obvious, the Norris injury.
Yeah, an efficient night for the Sabres. 14 shots on goal, 5 goals. So that's always good. That's not always the case with this team. I think they've been doing a little bit better job of getting themselves into good scoring positions and obviously converting on those chances. But 5 goals on 14 shots is definitely a good night, especially on a first night of a back-to-back. I don't think obviously had to withstand a little bit of a storm at the beginning of the third period to maintain that lead and get the win in the garage. But I don't think it was too tough of a night on the entire roster, obviously, aside from Josh Norris, which is really tough. But overall, I'd say a really good night, and it leads into a game tomorrow night, which is combined with the 05-06 reunion and the meetings in the standings with Montreal 5 points ahead of the Sabres, but the Sabres having 2 games in hand. With a regulation win tomorrow night, they could get themselves right back in the conversation for that third spot in the Atlantic. So it's the biggest Sabres home game, and I do not know how long.
So we jumped back into the first wild card spot tonight. We have games in hand on both the Bruins. Is it the Bruins and Toronto?
The Bruins and Boston and
Bruins
Detroit.
and Boston, huh?
And Detroit.
You said the Bruins and Boston.
Oh, sorry. The Bruins and the Canadiens and the Red Wings.
Yeah. So that's why tomorrow's game is like, I hate throwing this word around as much as we do, but must win, right? Like you have to win that game. Because
I mean, you have to win it if you want to like stay serious in that conversation of the Atlantic before the Olympic break. I wouldn't call it a must win in the grand scheme of making the playoffs or the grand scheme of a season. But in terms of staying relevant for the next 3 weeks before a good percentage of the league leaves for Milan, I would say tomorrow would be a must win in that context.
Yeah, well, I guess for me, it's like these wild card spots could come down to literally the last night of the season. So, I mean, that's why I think these division games are just that much more important, especially right now. Like I said it in the last episode, like you got to stack wins when you can. And right now is a good time to do so. You had the 10-game winning streak, then you had a 3-game winning streak. You're beating opponents that, you weren't expected to beat. You're handling the opponents that you should beat, if you minus Columbus, and who did they lose to?
Florida.
But still, these division games, I think this season more than ever, given the way the Atlantic and the East has kind of fallen, are going to be that much more important than ever.
Yeah, for sure. I think that the team hopefully is looking at it one game at a time, which I think they've done a good job of. I think you can get caught up in the moment during a losing streak or a winning streak. And I think they've approached each game in a vacuum, and they've handled their business. Even in those 2 losses, obviously the Columbus game wasn't great, and they battled back in the Florida game. But since I think it's the beginning of November, I just saw a tweet, or the middle of November, the Sabres are on a 103-point pace, which is really, really amazing. And I think they've established an identity. They've bought in. They're playing to Lindy Ruff's system, and obviously there's been some good fortune here and there, and especially good goaltending. I would say UPL had another good night tonight. That save in the first period looked Ryan Miller-esque in terms of his lateral movement, his flexibility, and getting the glove out and stretching it out, and obviously the windmill to finish. So it's really, really good to see. And I think he generally looked pretty confident in his crease tonight, challenging pucks and getting to the spot first. So a lot of good things are happening, and especially compared to last game, the power play looked great too.
Yeah, and I guess Darlene got the group together, and he's to try and just maybe spark. They said in like the title of the episode on Twitter, Darlene sparks the power play. I think I read something that he got the whole group together and just said made changes, or maybe there's more direction, more movement, whatever they did tonight. They just got to keep doing, even though Philly didn't really decide to show up until midway through the third period when they got that second goal. I don't even know if they're both their goalies. I know Vladar left early with the upper body injury, or groin injury, sorry. But I don't know if both their goalies combined for 10 total saves, did they?
It was 5 goals on 14 shots, so 9 saves total.
That's crazy. I remember I kept looking up at the Jumbotron and wondering if like somebody fell asleep and wasn't counting shot. But it was just that much of a low event game.
I only 22 shots for the Flyers as well. Obviously, way more than the Sabres, but the Sabres didn't necessarily need that many opportunities because they were converting on the ones that they had. But yeah, I would say just generally a really good night. They've struggled against the Flyers recently, and they've really struggled against the Canadiens. So I think tomorrow will be a really good test of will, and if this team is able to meet the moment in a very, very important game.
We'll get to the biz stuff in a minute, but I do want to pick your brain on this. Given the Josh Norris's like injury history, right? Like, how much pressure does that put on Jarmo if it does turn out to be something serious that might? I guess I'm reading that it was ribs, like a ribs thing. What like, does that put pressure on Jarmo to get a move done? Because Josh Norris is a huge part of the success of this team right now. Like, you just can't lose that guy and expect to just not miss a beat. He's been integral to many facets of the success of this team. So, like, does that pressure Jarmo to go out there and make a move even more so before the Olympic break?
I think it definitely increases it. I wouldn't say it's absolutely paramount, but it definitely raises the pressure just a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, he got heavily cross-checked in the ribs. I'm looking at the video of it right now. Yeah. I mean, for a guy that is, I wouldn't say made of glass, but he's definitely not the most durable player in the world. Who knows how long this will last? Hopefully it's short term.
I'm looking for an update right now. I'm not seeing anything.
We'll get evaluated. Got cross-checked in the ribs after the
that's all I saw. Yeah.
They hope it's not too serious. The hope is it's not too serious. Update from our boy Fairburn. So yeah, I think the pressure is very much correlated with the seriousness of the injury. Let's say it's a month or more, then yeah, it does raise the pressure before the roster freeze, before the trade deadline, for them to go out and get another center, whether that's a guy like Robert Thomas or another center that might be available. It seems like the Blues are in a bit of a fire sale, so, or at least open for business regarding just about anybody. I do think that would be a potentially pretty good option.
Yeah, I love the idea of Rob Thomas, especially given what Doug Armstrong.
Rob Thomas, the singer.
I'll take both. Why not? When Cammy Clune can't sing the anthem, we can have Rob Thomas do it.
Throw Santana in there.
Oh, dude, one of the greatest songs in the '90s. My God, great music video too. I love the idea of Rob Thomas. I think he would fit right into this lineup, and especially if it's a serious for Josh Norris, so it's like a broken rib or anything. But I don't know what that would cost, but they are open for business in St. Louis per their GM Doug Armstrong, who said, "I don't care." Pretty much called his entire team frauds, and he's not here to lose in the first round of Colorado. Which again, we already said that if that is in fact what he said, if I'm Rob Thomas or Jordan Kyrou, whoever, I want to get the fuck out of there. Anyways, your thoughts on the BIZ theatrics heading into this, because he's getting a lot of heat because he talked a lot of shit about Buffalo. But we know that's his shtick. I happen to know he's a pretty good guy. I've met him a few times and got to have some nice chats with him. But I did kind of enjoy some of the theatrics. I won't lie, especially when they did the video of him getting the shots taken out of by Darlene and whomever, and then him all bruised up in the locker room after a little video he did. And then apparently Rick Tocchet said, "I didn't know there was a Houston's in Buffalo."
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That was
People are on both sides of the fence on Viz. I had people texting me that they thought it was way too much, and
it was a little over the top.
Yeah, and they can't understand why he's been like anointed the golden boy of NHL media. I do think he's done a pretty good job. I think that he's definitely improved, especially when he's actually serious as an analyst. I think he provides a zeitgeist and a different type of conversation around the game that is similar to kind of what we do. And obviously his podcast and other hockey podcasts, it's obviously more conversational, and it's more relatable to the average hockey fan. And he's obviously really good natured and pretty funny. So
yeah,
I can appreciate it. I think, it was definitely a little much, but the fact that he followed through on the spanking after the game from Rob Ray, which is a really funny video.
It sounded like it hurt too.
Yeah, it definitely did. He didn't take it easy on him, but I think that's the price you pay for not only running your mouth, but being a Leafs fan, being from the area, and also all of the chirps he takes from everybody over his not stellar NHL career. He played in the NHL, so I would never chirp a guy for that. But at the end of the day, he was a fourth liner and spent a lot of time in the ECHL. So it was cool.
Hey,
it was funny.
He's a two-time ECHL All-Star, bud.
Yeah, well, there you go. Good for him. I know a few guys in the ECHL right now, and it's a good league, and a lot of good hockey players come out of there. Either way, I do think this is a positive for the Sabres, given that this happened while in the midst of a 14 out of 16 game heater. And I think that the national media personalities like this are obviously starting to notice, but they're trying to get in on the action. They're promoting the team as much as they possibly can. And I think that can only mean good things for the group moving forward, not just as a fan base, which is fun for us, but also as the team, raising the profile to free agents, raising the profile to trade candidates.
It's true, though.
Guys who might not have waived their no trade clause maybe are thinking, oh, it seems like a good vibe there right now. Obviously the team's doing really well, but it's not the deep dark despair of a place that we all do.
And I agree with this comment from JP Jaybird. NHL and TNT did Buffalo well. Pre-game show was fun. Good look for us. NHL needs BIZ. They don't have a lot of personalities to draw attention. I 100% agree with that. I think that I think that the NHL needs BIZ more than maybe some people think, for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's not just BIZ. It's podcasts like ours and Spin Chicklets and the What Chaos guys and a variety of different voices. And Too Many Men as well is a podcast I really like.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
With Sarah Sivian.
With is it Haley
and Shayla Goldman.
Yes, Shayna Goldman. Yeah, she's on WGR.
A lot of really good work around the league, and that's the thing. Diversification of voices. Obviously, hockey is for everyone, and I think everybody should realize that and know that. And I think it's great. It's not hurting anybody. It's funny, and in the scope of the Sabres, I think it was a pretty cool thing tonight.
And I thought, again, they had fun with it on the Jumbotron. They showed him a couple times. They put up his player profile, 6 NHL seasons, 202 total games played, 22 points, tied for 4,192nd in NHL history, 0.03 career goals per game, and a 2-time ECHL All-Star. And you could tell he had a great time with it. He knows how to make fun of himself.
Yeah, no, he's got some humility for sure, and obviously a great personality. So I think they did a good job. And yeah, leading into tomorrow night too, I think it's going to be a raucous atmosphere. Obviously, I think Sabres fans have been used to Montreal Canadiens fans making the trip down for home games against the Sabres. Obviously, way easier and way cheaper to get a ticket to a Sabres game than it is to a Habs game.
Yeah.
So I think there will be a lot of Canadiens fans, but
Yeah.
given this streak,
I
I
think it might
think
be more 50-50 than it has ever. You know what I mean?
it's
Maybe
gonna be less than
60-40
usual.
Sabres.
It's gonna be less than usual. I hope for 70-30. I think potentially 65.
I'm gonna shoot 60-40 because I think they probably a lot of them bought their tickets at the end of the at the start of the season.
For
They
sure.
probably had them for a while.
Yeah,
Um,
but I think also some people can't make it, and they could put them on the secondary market, and Sabres fans that would not have normally gone, probably, and hopefully the 05-06 night helps too. I think that is something that hopefully Sabres fans bought their tickets for in advance as well. So we'll see. I mean, interesting to have that type of night when you know that a large portion of the crowd is going to be an opposing fan base. I think they potentially could have thought of that a little bit better, but it's neither here nor there. I think it's at the perfect time given how well the teams play.
Yeah, very much true. I'm going to kick it over to our sponsors real quick. Thank you again to Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you need a beer, of course, make it a Fatty Beer.
I got to bounce. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep, it's fine. Let them know that we over here at Two Goalies One Mic sent you. I fixed my overlay here. And as always, extreme discount mattresses. You can visit the new closeout center. You know, Connor kind of threw me off there. I'm sorry to interrupt my ad read. I'll start it over, but now I have to adjust my camera because now my head is like not in the there we go. Okay, we're good. And of course, extreme discount mattress. If you want to get over to their new closeout center at 1625 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga, they have great deals, up to 80% off on one-of-a-kinds and closeouts, floor models, whole 9 yards. If you mention that you are a fan of Two Goalies One Mic, you do get a free mattress protector with any purchase of a mattress. They have 7 different locations, and you can find them at their website, extrememattress.com. That is extreme with an X. I happen to have a king-size mattress that I bought from Extreme Discount Mattress, and I can tell you with certainty, 100% honesty, I've never slept this better in my life. I bought a mattress 2 years ago from a company that was going out of business. I got like a good deal on it, a real cheap deal. I thought I was getting a screaming good deal. Not a good mattress though. I probably got one that was collecting mothballs or something like that, or dust. Sorry, not mothballs, dust in the back. Probably was sitting back there for forever. The one side started to cave in, and it wasn't doing well for my back. And luckily I linked up with Extreme Discount Mattress, and they were able to take real good care of me. So again, make sure you check them out, extrememattress.com. You can find me on Twitter at extreme_mattress. And just, again, you can search out them on Facebook, Extreme Discount Mattress. So that being said, Dwayne, what are your thoughts on Vanderpump Rules? Such a random question. I will say this: I have watched, and I don't watch reality TV. The first reality TV show I ever watched was The Osbournes. Love The Osbournes. R.I.P. to the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. One of the greatest, if not the greatest. Love that show because I think that was real reality. I think that was just the way they lived their life. And but I did, and I will admit, this past year, I watched that show because it was just so chaotic and hard to believe it was real. That show, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Because and you see those memes of the girlfriends who watch the show, and it's like, oh, husband, boyfriend says, I'll never watch this. But then they're kind of standing in the background, pointing, yelling at the TV. That doesn't make any sense. That's kind of was me this past year. So I will say that. And I know Vanderpump Rules was involved with that to an extent, certain episodes. So I have never watched Vanderpump Rules, but I did watch that show in particular. So sorry, we will not checks gets chicks. I don't know. I have no idea what that means. can we keep the chat to Sabres related stuff doing? I can't control you guys. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said you didn't watch reality TV. Maybe Owen Power should be on reality TV so he can grow a set. Yeah, maybe we'll see. Listen, I would say from when it comes to Owen Power, it's just I don't always want to be like overly critical of him because everyone knows who watches the show for as long as they have knows that I am critical of him, but I want to be overly critical because like he has had some pretty good moments over this 14 game stretch. He's had some bad moments for sure, but he's had some good moments too. And I think like steps hopefully in the right direction, but to the point, the chat that you guys are making, like, it's like the physical side of him really hasn't come out yet. Like the physical stuff that you see from Samuelsson, I have yet to see that from Owen Power in his short NHL career so far. And I don't even want to see that. I just need to see him play like he's 6'6", box people out, lift a stick, lean into a guy, move somebody out of the front of his goalie. Like that's what I need to see. And I think a lot of this fan base will just stop giving him so much shit, myself included. So yeah, that's my opinion on Owen Power. But that's all I really got to say about that. I haven't seen Owen Power win a puck battle since Vietnam. I can't relate. Yeah. So I think we need a bigger but mobile 6'7" defenseman. I agree. If I think I know who you're talking about, are you talking about Tyler Myers? Might be available out of Vancouver. Right-handed shot defenseman, third pairing guy. I think he would fit in nice considering the Connor Timmins injury. I wouldn't mind a reunion with Tyler Myers as a third pairing guy. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that would be, I'd like that move. I know people might be against it, but I would totally be for that move. Yeah, I was at the game tonight and I had a great time. Second game in a row I got to. I went to the loss, obviously, against Florida. Then got to see a win tonight. But I don't know how the out of town scores went. I know some of them. I know the Ottawa game obviously didn't go in our favor. But to Connor's point earlier, what we were talking about, I think it's so important now more than ever in the current state of the standings is to stack as many points as you can right now in the standings, because at some point, and Tampa has started to do it, there are teams that are going to start to break away from the pack and things are going to start to really separate a little bit. And, I want to be on the right side of that. Let's stack these points now. If we're going to lose, let's lose in overtime. I don't want to, I want to be comfortably in a playoff spot come the last week of the season. I don't want to be schedule watching. I want to be able to celebrate making the playoffs, I don't know, at the start of the final month of the season. That's when I'd like to. I don't want to be sitting here, and I know we're talking playoffs here in, mid-January, but let's be real. Like, they've played like a playoff team. They're the hottest team in hockey right now, and they don't seem like they're going to slow down. But that's what worries me about the Norris injury, because Josh Norris has been so important to the success of this team since he's come back from that injury. He has been a point per game player, probably more than a point per game player. Actually, I'll look it up right now. Over the last 14 games, his point production, like during this 14 game stretch. So let me pull this up real quick. You just can't replace a guy like, yeah. Okay, he's almost a point per game. He has 17 points in 19 games. But in the last 14 games, let's pull that up real quick. His last 5 games, he has 4 points in the last 5 game logs. Okay, here we go. So since he's come back, all right, let's find when he officially came back. Okay, so December 1st was his first game back. First game, 3 points. He was on actually a 6 game point streak where he had 9 points in 6 games. Then he played against the Islanders, didn't have a point. So in these games 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. He had 17 points in 18 games. So in those 14, I mean, let's do the math. Well, just goes to show you how important he's been for this team in that stretch. You just can't replace a guy like him because he does a lot of the right things. He's good on he's good in the face-off circle. He plays a good two-way game. And in my opinion, when he's healthy, he's possibly your best forward. He's right there neck and neck, in my opinion, with Tage Thompson. So I just don't think you can replace a guy like that. So maybe that puts some pressure on Jarmo Kekalainen to make a move. We talk about Rob Thomas. We talk about Jordan Kyrou. We talked about last episode, even though Jack Quinn has been heated up, I think this might have been his best game in the last 2 years, or this 2-game stretch even. Like tonight, he looked good. He was hustling. He was, getting involved physically. He won a couple board battles even. Like he did not look bad at all tonight. And again, we like to call him a one-trick pony, but when he pulls off that one trick, it's phenomenal because he has the best shot, in my opinion, on the team, in terms of accuracy and being able to place it wherever he wants. It's phenomenal. And he might have some of the best hands of the team. So if he could just learn to piece the rest of that part of his game together, I think that he could be a phenomenal player, but it's just the inconsistency. He's had the issues with injuries. So it's tough. It's tough to put your full faith in a guy like Jack Quinn. But we talked about it last episode, like, maybe you could showcase him to a team like Utah. You look up and down their lineup. I don't know who would be available, but, Andre Torini coached him. He loved him in Ottawa with the Ottawa 67s in the OHL. And you already know he has that built-in chemistry with JJ Paterka. They were like best friends. So maybe that could be an option for you if you're Jarmo Kekalainen. And there's a lot of other names floating around there. Maybe we'll finally see an Alex Tuch, extension. I don't know. Power play was useless when Norris wasn't on the ice tonight. That is true. He's a huge part of the power play too. Duane, did Zucker piss you off tonight when he refused to take? Oh, yeah. A couple guys did that tonight too. Even Dahlin. I know he had 2 goals tonight, but there were a couple of times Dahlin was passing up shots. It drove me nuts. The players like them, they need to be first, like be selfish, shoot first mentality, and like Dahlin had tonight on the power play, and it ended up working out in their favor. So love this team right now, but for Christ's sakes, got to put the puck on the tape. Too many turnovers that led to grade A chances. That like UPL, I know he didn't have a busy night, but he made some big saves, especially that massive glove save in the first period. Very Ryan Miller-esque, doing the splits, getting his glove over, snagging it. I forget, Grabervin, I think his name was. Just absolutely robbed him. And how about Doan? Just that back check on was it maybe, I forget which goal it was. Was it the Dahlin goal, the Samuelson goal? I can't remember. Or is it but absolutely highway robbery back check. It's the second time he's done it in like a week. Just how much of a complete player he's turning into, and a fan favorite. And we have a surprise giveaway coming up for some fans here. Maybe some on the it was the Samuelson goal, who has continued to dominate physically and apparently on the score sheet. And honestly, I'm feel confident in saying it. He is a Team USA snub with the season he's having. No doubt about it. So there's a lot of good things you can say about players of the team, even though it wasn't a high event offensive game for Buffalo. I think they really buckled down defensively and played a good brand of hockey tonight. So that being said, guys, it's getting late. I appreciate you guys holding on and sticking around. And, it took me a while to get home from the game. We're not used to this anymore. Traffic jams getting out of Sabres games because they're almost sold out, or it is sold out or almost sold out. So, and on a Wednesday night, which is cool. So that being said, guys, if you've enjoyed this podcast, you can find us on Apple for audio only. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your audio podcasts. Search out Two Goalies, One Mic. We are on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook. You search out Two Goalies, One Mic, or you can find myself at Duane S39 on both Instagram and Twitter. We are running a giveaway right now on 26 shirts, and I'm going to announce the winner of the Twitter side of things We still have to go through the Instagram because there were a lot of entries. But if you happen to see, we teamed up with 26 shirts to give away a Trey White Goalie Academy shirt. So as far as the winner for Twitter goes, congratulations to Shannon, which is at Yes Mom Can Do It on Twitter, or X if you want to call it. You are the winner on Twitter. And again, once we go through the Instagram entries here shortly, we'll announce that too. So congratulations to you, Shannon. And also, again, if you are watching on YouTube, please make sure you're subscribed. Hit that little bell icon. Hammer the like button, please. I see a lot of you watching on YouTube right now. Please make sure you're subscribed. Please, so you know when we go live, like little bell icon, like I said, and like this video. So I'll talk to you guys later. And we'll talk to you tomorrow night after 0506 night, which will be a fantastic and fun night to be a part of. And as always, go Sabres.